DeepSeek just released one of the most powerful AI models yet, the R1 model, that is breaking the internet and outcompeting OpenAI's GPT models. And while most people are just talking about it, smart entrepreneurs are already using it to automate entire aspects of their business. So today, I'm going to show you how to harness DeepSeek's AI breakthrough to fully automate your content creation on X using no code. All right, now here we are with a sneak peek at this automation. As we can see, it's literally 3 simple steps that can save you hours per week trying to come up with unique content to post on X. Here is my own Twitter account, and you can see that these are all generated by this simple automation. And the way we're doing all this is with a simple Google Sheet. I'm just pasting in a link to either like a blog post or something that I want in the tweet or the post, and it comes up with something really unique. If you want access to this template, you can access it in the resource hub in the description below. You'll see a link to go and grab it, and the discount code will allow you to get it completely for free as a thank you for watching this video. But I'm going to walk us through this whole thing step by step, so let's jump straight into it. All right, so for today's automation, we're going to be using N8N as our workflow builder, so make sure you sign up for it in the link in the description below. So step 1 of this whole automation, what is going to trigger our workflow, is going to be a connection to Google Sheets. So press on that plus sign and type in Google Sheets. Go ahead, select it, and press the trigger to be on row added. So it's going to be on row added. We're going to press this drop down here to connect to your credential, press create credential, and sign in with Google so that we can give N8N permission to connect to our Google Sheets. Once you've done that, just leave this like this for now. We're going to actually go and create the Google Sheet that we're going to connect to this trigger. So go into Google Sheets, create a new Google Sheet, name it something that you will remember. And then what we're going to do is grab or find some piece of content that we want to paste in here to test. So for my example today, I'm demonstrating this as a way to cross-post my blog. So I'm going to actually grab a blog post that I created and go into my Google Sheet and paste it in here so that when our workflow pulls this Google Sheet, it's going to grab the link to this blog post and write an X post about this new posting. So that's what we're going to do, because we're going to prompt it to take that information and come up with a good X posting based on what you put. So paste that in there, press on the workflow again, and now we're going to go ahead and select our pull time. So this is basically just how often this automation is going to be checking our Google Sheet for new content to generate. So I'm going to set mine to every day. Go to document, press the document drop it down, press on the Google Sheet name that you just created, press on sheet, press on sheet 1 because this should only have 1 sheet in it right now, and make sure that your trigger is set to row added. Now we're going to test to make sure that this connection has worked. So press on fetch test event, and we can see that that link that I just put in there is right here. Outstanding. So it's connected. Everything is working how it should. It looks really nice. So let's go ahead and press out of this. We can see the green means it worked, and press on the next node. So the next part is the fun part. This is going to be for our AI agent. Type in AI agent in the search bar, press on the AI agent. We're going to be using a tools agent, and instead of having it connected to a chat trigger node, we're going to define below what exactly we want to prompt this AI agent with. So I'm going to paste in this prompt that I already created, and I'm actually going to change it from news to blog. You can edit this prompt to whatever you want. So I could say, create a brief X post about this topic, if you're going to input just some text that you want it to write about. And what we're going to do is go up here to whatever was output by the Google Sheets trigger and drag it into this box so that it's going to create a brief X post overviewing this blog, and it's going to write about the link that is in this JSON stored variable. Perfect. So now we're going to go down to the options here in the drop down, and we're going to add a system message to give our AI agent more details about what its job is. So we could see they auto-filled us with just a system message, but I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste in a prompt that I already created. Now, if you already have the template, you will have access to this prompt with it, but I'm going to walk through really quick kind of how I prompted this. So I just told it that it's a social media manager for a blog on AI and automation, and that its job is to generate short tweets, and that each post should be engaging, getting people interested to read more. So that's the prompt for us. We can go ahead and exit out of this now because this step is set, but we can see that there's a little bit of an error here, which is totally fine. We need to connect it to a proper chat model. Press on this plus sign down here. Now, I'm not going to be using the direct connection to DeepSeek because at the current state that I'm recording this video, DeepSeek has limited access to their API and things like that. So some of you watching may not be able to get an API key. So we're going to use Open Router. Let's press on Open Router here. And now we're going to go and set up our Open Router account. So navigate to Open Router. You can find it in the link in the description below. Then navigate up in the drop-down menu to Keys and press on Create New Key and create that key and then copy it so that we can paste it into our credentials. So now go back into the Open Router node, press on the Select Credential dropdown, press Create Credential, and all you need to do is paste in that API key and press Save. Perfect. Connection tested successfully. Everything is working fine. So now we need to go ahead and select the model that we want to connect to, and that's going to be DeepSeek. We do not want to be connected to OpenAI. So press the drop down here and type in the search DeepSeek, and we can see it gives us a lot of options. So let's press on Distill Llama 7db free, but choose whichever you want. But for today's video, we'll be using the Llama 7db free version. So click on that. Now navigate into options and go down to maximum number of tokens. What we need to do here is make sure that it doesn't generate too much text for a X post. So we know that X allows about 250 characters. So let's go ahead and allow it to have maybe 150 tokens. I think that's about reasonable. We'll see. We'll test it out and see how many is about 250 words. And go ahead and click out of that. Perfect. We're going to test our workflow now. So press test workflow and outstanding. We can see that it has worked. If we click into the node here, we can see that this is the output, just providing a brief update on what the blog is about, notifying my followers that we have created a new blog post and why it might be beneficial to them. So this looks great, but now the last step we need to add is how we're going to connect all of this to X. Let's press this plus sign here and search for the X node and press on X, formerly Twitter. Go to the drop down here and press on Create Tweet. Great. Now you need to connect your X account, and I'm actually going to delete the one that I have here right now. And now you need to create your X account. So we're going to press on Select Credential and Create New Credential. So leave this here for now. What you need to do is go to the X developer portal, which I'll have a link to it in the description. So press on that and navigate yourself to the X developer portal. So here's where that link should have taken you. Go up here to the top right and press on developer portal. Now it might automatically sign you in, which it did for me, but you're going to go ahead and sign in. And what might happen is they might ask you to accept a few terms of service and then ask you why exactly you need access to the X developer API. It needs to be kind of long. They require 250 words, but once you do that, they should accept it pretty much immediately. If not, it might take a little bit of time, maybe like a few minutes, but once you have gotten in here, you can go ahead and go to your dashboard and you should have no projects to start. So press on Add App. Great. Now we're going to add this app. We're going to create the app name, something like that. You could also just name it N8N connection because they all use the same connection. And it probably popped up with an API keys page. Ignore that. That's not the API keys that we need right now. That's not what we're using for today. Go ahead and go to the drop down of projects and app. Go to the DeepSeek X automation that you just created under that drop down. Now go to user authentication settings, and we can see that we need to set it up. So here we are in the authentication settings. We need to go under app permissions and press on read and write. For the type of app, it's going to be a web app, automated app, or bot. Then we're going to navigate back into our N8N workflow and see this OAuth redirect URL. This is what we're going to copy, and we're going to paste that into the callback URI or redirect URL here. And then the website URL, I'm actually just going to do my Botterra AI website. So I'm going to use my company website here. Totally fine. Don't need to be necessarily too specific about this. You can even use the N8N website URL. Just put something there for now. The rest of this we can ignore and press on save. And make sure that you press select here as well. All right, so now you're going to have probably gotten your client ID and client secret from the little pop-up that happened after you set up your application. So you're going to copy that client ID, paste it into the client ID field, and then go back, copy the client secret, paste it into the client secret field. Do not close it out, because if you do, it will not show them again. So make sure that you copy and paste those and immediately put them into here and press on connect my account. And it will take you to this authentication page where you just need to press on authorize app to authorize X to be connected to N8N. So press authorize. Great. N8N pops up with connection successful. And we can see here that the account has been connected. Great work, everyone. We are set. So now the final step here is we can see this text box that is the information that we're going to be sending to X. All we have to do here is grab the output that we have from the previous AI agents node, grab this block and drag it into text. So it takes the JSON.output JSON variable, and we just drag it over and put it into the text space. And let's press on test step. Great. It worked. Let's go navigate back into our X to make sure that that post has been created. So here we're in my profile. Let's refresh. And there you have it. It just created this brand new post automatically that says starting your AI agency journey in 2025 and aligns perfectly with what we see here with the link as well. So there you have it. That is our automation. And really quick, this next section is all about troubleshooting. So if you didn't run into any issues with this automation, go ahead and skip this part. I just want to address a few troubleshooting issues that people might have with this automation, especially if they are beginners. So there's three main ones we're going to cover. The first one is you might get like a forbidden request or incorrect credentials error. A lot of times that error has to do with the fact that you have too many characters that you're trying to send to X. So if you are running into some errors, first make sure that the amount of characters you're trying to send to X does not exceed that 250 character limit. And if it does, prompt your agent or change the amount of max tokens so that it doesn't do that. The second issue that you might run into could potentially have to do with you needing to clear out your Google Sheet and then pasting in those new prompts or blogs, because sometimes when we use this test workflow button here, it can cause a little bit of issues with the automation since we're kind of like forcing it to run. So if you're running into issues, you might want to clear out your Google Sheet and then paste in what you're trying to test with again. And the last thing is sending too many requests to the X Developer API. They do have a limit on the amount that you can send if you are using the free version all at once. They might give you an error saying, hey, you can't send this many requests. And if you do, you might just need to take a break from it for a second and come back later. So those are the three things that I see the most. Hopefully you didn't run into any issues. Most of you probably didn't run into any issues, but for those of you who did, hopefully this section helped you. And there you have it. That is today's automation, helping you fully automate your X using DeepSeek and N8N. If you liked today's video, be sure to comment below what videos you'd like to see next. Leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this, teaching you how to automate various aspects of your business and sell these services to business owners. So I hope to see you in the next video. And once again, thank you for tuning in.